What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 87 of Snakes and the Fatman there. In case you missed it, MorphMarket rolled out a new version of their app. It's available for iPhone and Android phones now. The new app will directly notify you when other users send you a message. This is a game changer for quicker communication. Lightning speed communication. Soon, it'll send you other information as well. If you have an older version of the app, which was not in the App Store, please uninstall that and install the version from the App Store. Another exciting update is a new and more powerful search feature. Making it easy to find specific animals has always been a part of MorphMarket's core mission. The new search has over 30 search filters and the ability to save your searches and get alerts when matching animals hit the market. Try it out by hitting the blue Try New Search button on any search result page. Last but not least, genetic tests are now available for purchase through MorphMarket. Visit morphmarket.com/RGI to see currently available tests and place orders. Get on over to morphmarket.com. All right, let's check out what Herps is doing these days. This weekend, October 15th and 16th, they're in Waco, Texas. Then, November 5th and 6th, they're in Lafayette, Louisiana. They're going to be in Pearland, Texas. Pearland? Yeah, I don't know. It's spelled Pearland. That just sounds gay. Anyway, November 12th and 13th, they're going to be in Pearland. They're going to be in Austin, Texas, December 3rd and 4th. They're going to be in Slidell, Louisiana on December 10th and 11th. Then they're going to be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the first show of the new year, January 14th and 15th. They're going to be back in Longview, January 21st and 22nd. That's in Texas. And then the big show, they're going to be in Conroe on January 28th and 29th. Did you see Lori on the news with the old tipsy trinket thing, man? I mean, they're just pushing everything right now, and they're fucking rocking at it all. Go check out herpshow.net and tell them what a fucking great job they're doing. Don't be a Reptor bitch. Get on over to reptorchip.com and get yourself a block, a bag, or a bigger bag of the best coconut substrate on the market. Listen, I know that you got a choice of a bunch of other substrates from inferior coconut chip companies. But if you buy from any of those guys, you are a Reptor twat, not a Reptor bro. Don't be a Reptor hoe. Buy from the guy that gives back to the reptile community. Not from any of these other degenerates that don't give a fuck about you. JT is proactive as fuck about giving back to the reptile community. If you've ever been to a US ARC auction, you know this, man. JT started the Reptilution apparel brand with the sole purpose of giving back to the reptile community. Every dollar that Reptilution earns goes back into a fund to help the reptile community when they have real life problems. Plus, all the cool people in the industry are wearing them. Don't be a Repticunt. Head on over to Reptichip.com right now and get yourself a block, a bag, a bigger bag of the best coconut substrate in the industry. Get yourself some Redline Science shit, some Easy Hat strays, and get yourself a fucking Reptilution shirt. I don't care what you buy, just get on it! So we're in October, and once again, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is upon us. I didn't get any pink shirts done this year, but everybody knows I'm a huge, huge fan of the fucking boobs. So I figured this is the month where I'm gonna combine two awesome causes. So we're starting up our new Till Valhalla campaign for 2022 to help stop veteran suicide. As you can see, from this scrumptious bod, I'm wearing one of the new Till Valhalla designs right now. And what I'm asking you to do is head on over to tillvalhallaproject.com and buy yourself one of these cool fucking new shirts. 22 veteran suicides a day is just too much, man. Go buy a shirt for 25 bucks and you could literally help this problem by sitting on your ass on your phone or computer and just picking up a shirt. Now, what I'm gonna do is this. If you buy a shirt from tillvalhallaproject.com and you post a picture of yourself in your new Till Valhalla shirt and tag me in it, I'm going to give away 20 Snakes and a Fatman t-shirts. So for every photo that I get of people in a Till Valhalla shirt, I'll put them in a drawing for 20 Snakes and a Fatman Patriot shirts. And it doesn't matter. It could be a t-shirt, a tank top, a v-neck. It doesn't matter. And I'll pay for shipping it to you as well. What I'll do in December is on one of my lives, we'll do that fucking jack-off wheel thing that all the other shitty podcasters do on their lives. And we'll pick 20 people that'll get free Snakes and a Fatman shirts. Now, to bring this back to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the money that I would have earned on those shirts and I'm gonna write a check and make a donation to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Awareness Fund, the Race for the Cure, like we contributed to last year. I figure this is kind of a cool way to raise awareness for both charities and get yourself, or have a chance to get yourself, 2 fucking shirts for 25 bucks. In this economy, who could laugh at that? And don't be trying to post a picture of yourself in last year's shirt that you bought in 2021, okay? Get an updated fucking design. Buy a new shirt. It fucking helps so many people by doing such a small little fucking thing, man. Again, get on over to tillvalhallaproject.com and buy a shirt, man. It's gonna help out 2 fucking causes. The ball python industry has never been more complex. Clutch makes managing your collection simple. All right, I'm gonna have to read this next part because it's long and it has some pretty big words in it, man, okay? This brand new cloud-based web platform created by Canova allows you to create, search, and filter your ball python inventory with ease. It allows you to visualize your projects with innovative analytics and insights. It keeps track of past, present, and future clutches with a virtual incubator, and it connects every customer with the perfect animal using a robust waitlist system. Robust. I don't really like that word. The biggest feature is that it's easy. It's super simple to accomplish anything in this program. The beta launches October 24th, and it's not too late to sign up to test it out. To get on the waitlist for Clutch Beta, you could sign up at clutch.io. That's CLTCH.io. Discover the power of your collection whenever inspiration strikes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Man, will you look at this fucking Clay from Sons of Anarchy, fucking Sam Elliott from Roadhouse looking motherfucker right here, man. Fucking Glenn Ledea. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing, Chris?
Good, man. Just, plugging away, making shit happen. Tech Reptiles. Fucking everybody.
Yes, sir.
So go follow them on Instagram. And I think Glenn also has a Facebook. That's my main method of talking to him. And, I've been talking to this guy for a few months, and I just want to have this fucking guy on. Glenn, you know how this works.
Yes, sir. I sure do.
15 minutes, and that shit is going to start now. So, right off the bat, where'd you get the name from?
I was sitting around and just honestly bullshitting with me and the wife's letters, and Gat just didn't seem to be a very good reptile business name or a household name, so I switched it around and used Tag. It kind of plays into everything. I love graffiti and getting tagged by a snake, so it kind of just worked. And we've been building off it since then.
Well, it's definitely a good name. I give you an 8 out of 10 for the names.
It's Tiffany and Glenn is the acronym for it. So.
Oh man, you just made it gay. All right, come on, man. I wish you didn't tell me that. I thought it was some kind of Marine thing or some kind of Army vet thing. Man, now I give you a 7 out of 10 for the name Tiffany and Glenn. It should be called,
encompasses several things.
It should be called Gay Reptiles, okay? GAY Reptiles. But
hey, if it sells, it sells.
Hey, I get it. It looks good on the shirt, man. That's all I'm saying. Now you're down in Florida, right?
Yes, sir. Down in Pasco County.
Okay, so with all the Florida breeders, why should somebody fucking buy from Tag?
I'm focusing heavily on quality in and quality out, from who I buy my genetics from and to what I feed my snakes. I breed my own rats. I know what's going into my rats, so I know what's going into my snakes. I don't do dog food. They get fresh vegetables and fruits once or twice a week. They get a good pellet, and they're well taken care of, man. And I pride myself on the genetics. I buy mainly locally. So far, I haven't bought any out of state. And I buy from well-known breeders. Most of my collection is local, well-known breeders.
Well, you have some big guys down there, between like
Absolutely.
Steve Morphs and even Jen over at Cigar City is putting out some fucking great shit. Ken Mason.
I've purchased from both of them.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, fucking that's cool. Kenny Masick is a fucking riot, huh? So.
Oh, no, I have not been able to purchase from him yet.
Oh, not from him. So you meant
Steve and Jen.
Steve and Jen. Yeah, Steve and Jen are fucking great people.
Awesome.
Are you? How many clutches have you gotten this year?
This past season was our first season. We did 2 clutches.
Okay.
And 100% success rate. 13 eggs, no slugs, 13 snakes.
Good. And do you plan on being a show guy within the next couple of years, or is it basically just growing your collection?
No, absolutely. The end game would be to, travel some shows, of course, have a morph market, sell locally, ship. I would love to do some shows. I think it solidifies us newer breeders that don't have much tenure in the game. It allows people to put a face to the company and to interact with you, really. So I think it's almost something you have to go through, something you have to do. Whether you're successful at the shows or not, I think it's earning your stripes. I really
Right,
do.
right. I was just going to say it's like you have to, you have to earn your stripes in the whole business. Now, there's been a severe downturn in the ball python market these days. Is it affecting Florida as much as it's affecting everybody else?
Oh, honestly, that depends on who you ask.
Right.
Because I talked
Well,
with
I'm asking
several
you.
local breeders, and some of them have banging weekends. Most of them do. Some guys walk away, as you said before, with $200 in their pocket.
Right.
So honestly, I think it's how you display yourself, how you brand your company, how you market, and also, of course, what you're producing has a huge factor.
Well, yeah, and kind of segueing in from that, what are some of your big projects?
I'm focusing heavily in the yellow belly complex. That's what I fell in love with. I got a pastel ivory, and that was it. That's what set it off. I don't like white snakes, but there was something about the ivory, and that's kind of what kicked it off for me. I'm working my favorite recessives in. I know white trash, ghost, hypo,
Ugh.
uh, but I like it with the dark morphs. It does look like they're always in shed. So I do plan on making double recessives here in the next few years. I'm really not a recessive guy, but I'm very aware that I need to have it in my arsenal if
Right,
I want
right.
to make it.
Well, the incomplete dominance and codoms really have almost been forgotten about, up until this point. Like if they're not paired with some kind of recessive, but it's people are sleeping on like confusion and acid and you know even leopard to some degree because those genes work so well with recessives that I think people are learning that they got to get into them. But like, let's say like a desert ghost clown almost doesn't really do much anymore if it's just a desert ghost clown, right? There's something that has to
Right.
be put into it. So that's good that you're working the double recessive stuff. Now, let's talk some of my sponsors here. You're down in Florida. Do you use Reptile?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fucking listen, JT does not give you a fuck you. Okay, keep it up. Keep using that fucking Reptile, man. Have you ever been to a herp show?
I can't say that I have.
I don't think you have. They don't go out to Florida, man.
Yeah, I've never been to a herb show.
Regardless, then fucking Sean Gray gives you a big fucking fuck you. Do you only do ball pythons?
Currently, yes.
Okay,
For breeding plans, yes. I
so
have other species of reptiles in the house, but
okay.
that's it for breeding.
Have you ever bought a snake from Bow Affliction?
Nope.
Oh, Kenny gives you a big fuck you. Oh crap!
Oh, it's another one. Bring them on. Bring them on.
I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think you're not gonna do good in this part. Do you
I'm
have a
not.
focus cube habitat cage in your house? No,
No.
right? Fucking Ashley and Steven, two of the nicest people in the industry, just give you a big
Uh,
fuck you. I saw that logo. That logo does not look like an SD Design logo. So,
it's not. It's not.
Stewart Design gives you a big old fuck you. You just told me that you haven't bought any snakes out of state, so you haven't
Yes.
probably bought from Justin. Man, Justin gives you a big old fuck you, man. You started out strong. Um,
Oh.
do,
I
do
think you
you?
set me up with that one.
I don't know, man. I ask these questions to everybody. You currently use MorphMarket, but you don't have a MorphMarket account.
I have a buyer account, correct. I'm not going to set up a seller account until I have my state required license through FWC.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking John Lehman gives you a half fuck you then. Because he likes that you're buying, but he doesn't like that you're fucking not selling. But, you know, you don't, you don't have, you got two clutches on the ground, right? So,
Correct.
you don't
And I
have,
did trade with those, so let
yeah,
them go.
oh, if you did trades and then use MorphMarket, oh man, John Lehman gives you a full-fledged fuck you, man. Ugh.
Hey,
That's
I
just,
got to do things legally down here, bro. You know that.
no, yeah, believe me, you're down in fucking Florida.
FWC does not fucking play, and
Yeah,
we all know that. We all
yeah,
know that.
yeah, and
So
you know the last thing you need is to be the reason that fucking FWC bans ball pythons in the state of Florida, right? So fucking,
there you go. That's the last thing I want on my plate.
I don't think that would work. Now here's a local fucking Florida guy. Do you have sea serpents, Rex?
No, sir. Nope.
Oh my god, well, dude, what the fuck? Chris Nettles gives you a big old fuck you because you're right next door and you're fucking not buying fucking sea serpents. Ah, I don't
Man,
know.
we're out here grinding and building right now. I'm focused on genetic. I'm
Oh,
focused on genetics.
stop.
I am. Let's be real.
So okay, so you got one and a half out of fucking 8, man. That's it's a failure grade if I've ever fucking heard one. Now,
Hey, put me on the wall. Put me on the wall.
yeah, you're gonna be on some type of wall. How many years have you been doing this? You said this was your first year actually producing.
As a ball python keeper, I've only been keeping a year and a half. As a reptile keeper enthusiast, I mean, I grew up in the creeks, man. I've had fish tanks, lizards, turtles, anything my mom would let me bring in the house. She wouldn't let me bring snakes in. That was the only thing she wouldn't.
Right.
But yeah, I was doing colubrids in the mid to late 2000s.
Okay.
Kind of kicked myself in the ass for not sticking with that because I was working on them a few worlds first because, as we know, there wasn't shit back there then. So if I only knew then what I know now, right? So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Now, I definitely want to just bring up the point that you're definitely like a fucking biker dude because you're like fucking, hey, I'm not a breeder. I'm a reptile enthusiast. Okay. So fuck, you're like, if we're not a gang, we're motorcycle enthusiasts. Okay.
We are not a gang. We are not a gang.
And you do this with your wife, right?
Correct. She's my silent, not so silent partner.
Yeah, that's normally the way it works. And did you guys basically split up cleaning duties and?
No, that's 100% on me. I run the day-to-day, the knuckle busting grind, every bit of it, brother. I run it.
And
She backs me.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
How many snakes do you have right now?
Currently sitting at 44.
Okay.
And I still have a few babies to find new homes.
Okay. So really, like, what would you say your wife does with Tech Reptiles? Yeah. Just takes the money
Right now she backs it.
Oh,
she's,
nice.
She's majority. She's majority of the financial backing to this endeavor. She's working on spiders. So she's going to hopefully eventually be producing those, and those will also be added to our arsenal.
So what you're saying in a very nondescript sort of way is that you tricked her and you got her to pay for all the shit.
I did not trick her. She's actually huge, hands-on. She loves interacting. She kept reptiles before me. She actually reignited my passion. So it's the other way around.
Okay. All right.
I've been out of the game for over a decade. Didn't think I was going to get back in, especially to breeding. And yeah.
I'm
she
gonna
reignited it.
I'm just gonna back off that because I know those Florida chicks are crazy. All right, so fucking.
Oh, Florida women are fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, They're
Nuts.
fucking, yeah, they're just the worst there. Have you been to Daytona?
No, I have not. I
Are
have
you
not.
so you haven't bought from Sea Serpents, you haven't been to Daytona. But like isn't Daytona only like an hour and a half away from you?
Yeah, but you know what? We had a kid, and that screwed it all up. You
That's what
know,
I'm
like
saying. Everybody listen to Glenn's problem. That's what children do. They fuck it all up. Fucking any plans you had, that baby is like, fuck you. Fucking yeah.
yep,
So Daytona's probably not the place to bring a fucking, under-year-old kid. I mean, that kid will
no,
fucking grow up with fucking memories of fucking smoking crack and fucking cursing and fucking that can't really be the way the way the kid starts out. At least not the first one.
no,
Maybe by the time you get to 2 or 3, you don't mind fucking it up a little bit, and you could do an experiment and take the young kid down to Daytona and just see how he turns out compared to the first kid, and just throw it up in the air. Now, basically, how do people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you?
we do have an Instagram, Tech Reptiles. Facebook, you can find us as a business page, and then there's my personal page, which I have blasted our company logo all over.
Yeah, no, I see
So
it. And what's with the Buccaneer part of Glenn Buccaneer, Leanna?
I'm a Buccaneer, man. I was born and raised in Tampa. I just left Hillsborough County a year and a half ago, so
You
it's
look like
it's
a little
deep.
bit of a Buccaneer, but it doesn't fucking matter because your time is up, okay? So,
Oh man,
Buccaneer or not, I'm fucking cutting you off, all right? Uh, dude, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to come hang out with me, man.
thank you, brother, for having me. Really, honestly,
It
it's
was like
I'm very honored.
big deal having you on because fucking we've been talking a lot and you show up at the Zoom calls and fucking you showed up at a Zoom call in a fucking blackout. And I was like, this dude is a fucking rock star, man. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you. I appreciate all the fucking support. And we're gonna put this out on the next episode with Mikey Wilbanks. So it's gonna be
That's awesome, man. He's an OG. That's really cool.
yeah, and he's one of my oldest friends in this business, so he fucking rocks. But Glenn, thank you again, brother. I appreciate everything, man.
Sir,
Take it easy, brother.
have a good night, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
All right, I have a couple of questions for anyone trying to run a business in the reptile industry. Do you ever feel like you're held back by a dated or detailed image? Are you sick of competing on price or convincing people to buy your fucking animals? Are you ready for a change but not sure where to start? Stewart Design guides ambitious companies to discover and share their meaningful difference and empowers them to reach their greatest potential. If you've been listening to me for a while, you probably know my man Blake Stewart at Stewart Design. If not, I'm certain you've seen the waves they're making within the industry. They've worked with the biggest and baddest players in the game. Stewart Design rebranded ball python extraordinaire Justin Kabilka over at Canova. They also created the brands for Amos Reptiles, my boy Zach Nava, Garrett Hartle with Reach Out Reptiles, as well as many, many more. Not to mention the rebranding and all the work that Blake has donated to USARK just because of his love for the industry. Stewart Design helps take that dumpster fire shit of a logo you drew in Microsoft Word to a whole new level. Get your big boy pants on because this isn't a game. There are literally thousands of breeders and more coming out every day. So how the fuck will you stand out at Tinley or on MorphMarket or at Daytona? Why should anyone buy anything from you when there are literally thousands of other dickheads out there selling the same stuff? If you want to run a real business and not some part-time fucking hobby, you have to stand out and look the goddamn part. If you give a shit about your business and want other people to give a shit about it, get a hold of Blake Stewart over at Stewart Design. Stewart Design is a professional branding agency. Just check out their website to see the list of major national and international awards that they've won. And besides creating kick-ass logos, Stewart Design also designs and prints everything you need to crush your next show, so you don't look like another fucking reject. Business cards, stickers, flyers, table covers, banners, you name it, they got it. Visit sdidentity.com or email info@sdidentity.com to learn more. That's info@sdidentity.com to get started. All right, so I'm excited beyond belief to have my old friend Mike Wilbanks from Wilbanks Captive Bred Reptiles on the show once again. I've been friends with Mike since 2008, and this dude has always been a fucking class act and a goddamn gentleman. This guy helped us out so much when we were starting Eyeballs, and through the years, he's been a great friend, a great fucking mentor, and he's just like a great fucking guy, man. And on top of that, he remains one of the biggest movers and shakers in the industry. Plus, he rarely does any other podcast or shows, so I'm thrilled that he said yes to doing this one. Here's my one-on-one with Mike Wilbanks from Wilbanks Captive Bred Reptiles. What's up, everybody? Look who I got here. Fucking Mike Wilbanks. Fucking OG guy, old friend of mine, helped us out a lot at the beginning. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Chris. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. Just plugging away. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely.
I know that you guys are busy as fuck there, like always, right?
Yeah, and I don't do much of this, but for an old friend like you, I'm happy to do it.
I was going to say I've heard that it's hard to get you on certain shows.
Yeah, I rarely say yes, and it's not because I'm snobby. It's just because I'm busy, and I don't know. It's hard to find time.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do this fucking dumb show, and it's hard to find time.
Right.
All right. You just got back from Tinley.
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
It was. I haven't been in a decade. It was one of the best times I've had, and maybe since I've been doing the snake business. That's how good it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it the show or the seeing old people that
Everything. I had so many people coming up to our table, and it just caught me off guard. People were like saying, "Oh, I heard you were here, and I had to come say hey," and people I hadn't seen in 15, 20 years. And it was just cool reconnecting with those people and exchanging phone numbers. I've changed phones a couple times since the old days. And I really, I guess, get lost in my own world and kind of got out of touch with just how many cool people there are in this industry. And that was a big part of, I think, my beginning was just this network of friends that I had developed. We'd talk on the phone at night and about snakes, and we'd be like constantly exchanging information while we were trying to figure things out, and then later on trading animals. And it was just cool to reconnect with all those old school guys.
Yeah, that's cool. When I saw you there, I was kind of pissed off that I didn't go, and I thought you were going to be at Arlington because I just figured it was so close to you,
That was the plan, but when I'm launching a new line of incubators, and when they didn't come in, I was so irritated about that. I just said, I'm just not going to go. I'll just send the guys. I was wanting to go there and hype these incubators.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw Jeff, I think, there.
Yeah.
Bummed out it wasn't you, but Jeff is cool, so yeah. It's it's all good. Talk to me about the incubators. What's going on with that?
Well, it's been a project I've been working on for a couple of years now. I felt like there are some good products out there, but not just a commercially produced professional incubator. My first incubators were taking old refrigerator and putting heat tape in it and computer fans and a lot of trial and error. I remember making one incubator that I put too many fans in and dried out like 26 clutches of eggs. Even though I was checking them, they dried out fast, like within a day or so. It was so, made all those mistakes. And I just started thinking about that was kind of a space in the market that hadn't been filled. And looking at the products that were available, there's lead times and weights. So this product we've developed with partners in China, and they're being manufactured on a large scale. We're getting containers of them in. So when they start hitting the shore, they'll be in stock all the time. It won't be you have to wait. When you want to order an incubator, you order it, and then we'll ship it out within a day or so.
Within a day or so, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I one of my sponsors is Serpents, and they do hot box incubators.
Yeah, and I think they're a great product. I mean, I feel like my product is a little bit different than theirs because ours is not just an incubator. It's designed with heating and cooling. And so you can set a set point. Let's say it's 89 degrees. That's what I incubate my ball pythons at. And it will do whatever it takes to maintain that set point. So if it needs cooling, it'll cool. If it needs heat, it'll heat.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. And you're going to have these in stock?
Yeah, we'll have them in stock. Our first container's on the ground. It will have one of the first 5 models in it. I mean, not a quantity of one. It'll have some of each of the first 5 models. And then we have our largest model, which is our 760, that's almost 3 feet wide, 30 inches deep, 7.5 feet tall, really huge thing for, it's kind of like for someone who's really taking this professionally, but not quite large enough where they need a room to incubate in yet.
Right. Okay, fucking that's awesome. You have another thing that's coming in too. That's actually pretty cool.
First, let me tell you something else about the incubators. Okay. The other thing that I feel like is a real game changer is because it has cooling in it. If you breed colubrids, you can brumate your colubrids in it. Set it to 55 degrees, load all your animals up in it, hibernate them. When you get done, breed them, and then put the eggs back in, change the temperature, and move on.
Do they have their own thermostats or no?
Yeah, there's a built-in thermostat that just maintains a set point. It'll heat or cool. It has safeties, and if it gets 5 degrees out of whack either way, it'll immediately cut whichever direction it's going. So if it heats up too hot, it'll cut the heat.
But that's a big problem. Like I hear all these stories all the time of like my thermostat fucked up,
right,
or whatever. So to have something that's guaranteed is kind of it is kind of game changing.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into what would I want in an incubator, and so the sky's the limit when you're dealing with industrial manufacturers. So we have fans and LED lights, and it looks great. It's got a double pane glass door. It's insulated aluminum box, just like a commercial refrigerator. And I think one thing that's always been important to me is aesthetics. So, someone who's got a ball python room, they've got top of the line rack systems in it. They take pride in their breeding operation. This is an incubator for them, so they can be proud of it. Somebody walks in and there's my incubator.
Right. That's fucking. And you have one up to 7 feet high, huh?
Yeah, we've got a huge model that I just had one shipped DHL, a sample of the largest model, and I'll be debuting that on YouTube and Rumble pretty soon.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Tell me about the Rumble thing.
Well, Rumble is a YouTube competitor, and I've always just tried to be a little bit cutting edge as far as, try to look at where the trend is going. And it just, I felt like I wanted to get out there and get a channel on Rumble. I think everyone's gonna be there at some point.
Okay. So you have a snake channel on Rumble.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a link on my website. I have little social media links up in the corner.
Yeah, I saw that.
If anyone wants to go there, you can go click the Rumble link. I'm just now starting to put content on. One of the ideas that I have, because I feel like a lot has been done with ball pythons as far as content. If you want to know how to breed ball pythons,
Too much.
Yeah, it's not rocket science. You can figure it out. And the way our website's designed now, we have little chat windows, and we've got staff that's always there manning that, and people can click and they can ask questions about that. And I've got really great people that will give you the right answer and point you in the right direction. So I feel like that's covered. And so one of the ideas I had for content is I've never bred chondros before.
Mm-hmm.
I've been putting together a pretty nice collection of chondros over the past 5 years or so. And I'm just feeling like I'm ready to start breeding them. I'm going to try to breed about 10 females this year.
Okay.
And I'm going to film that and take people along that journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just being straight up with people. I've never done it before. I've talked to some very knowledgeable people. In fact, Gary Scavino, you know him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I saw him at the show, and I was telling him, hey, I'm going to try to breed chondros for the first time this year. And he said, no problem. You'll have it easy. He said, you could do it with your eyes closed. And I said, so that's the secret. I got to close my eyes. I close your eyes and mail in.
Yeah, just hope. Bill Stiegel is a big chondro guy too.
Yeah, I talked to him too, and he was super nice and said, hey, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you. He was a great guy. That was really the first time I met him.
He's a great guy. I went to dinner with him, or didn't go to dinner, but I went to his house at Arlington, and he had a little barbecue, with all the hot shots, so I felt like one of the cool kids for getting invited,
Yeah, I love it when that happens to me.
Yeah, seriously, right? Well, tell me about this other thing you got going on that's brand new that people are going to be into too.
We're going to have a line of racks where we're partnering with LP Racks in Denmark. He distributes through Europe and the UK, and he's going to distribute my incubators in Europe, and he's going to send me his rack system here. And I really like his rack system for several reasons. It will ship flat, unassembled, and it's really easy to assemble. The shelves are a solid steel shelf, so you have a real thin profile, so you can actually fit more tubs in the same amount of vertical space. So
like, and so the metal racks like Freedom Breeder, ARS.
Yeah, similar belly heat, all that stuff. The difference is they're easy to mix and match. So you can have baby levels in the same rack really easily. You can change the configuration with just a change in the side dowel that separates the steel shelving.
Right. Okay. And you're going to have those for immediate shipping too, right?
Yeah, we're going to get containers of those, and I've built a new building. We just completed construction on it. It's 3,600 square feet, and it's just going to be for shipping and receiving of these new products.
Jesus Christ. All right. So when you order a rack or an incubator from Wilbanks, you'll get them within a couple of days.
Yeah, you'll at the most you'll have it by next week.
Right. Okay. Fucking that's awesome. And you're building a new building where? Next to this building?
Yeah, just behind my current building. My current building is 12,000 square feet. When I moved here in June of 2019, and I was in 3,500 square feet. I was really cram packed into that space. And when we moved in here, I remember thinking, I'm never going to fill this thing up. And now we're full.
Right. So you own the building that you're in now?
Building, yeah.
Okay. And you're just building another building, a smaller building outside of that?
Yeah, we built another one instead of adding on to this building, because if you add on, if we get above the 12,000 feet, we were going to need to sprinkle the whole building, which is extremely expensive. So it's better to build a separate building. I had land behind my current building. We're in an industrial area.
Right.
We just built us a new one. It's got loading docks and it's all dock height. We have a forklift, and this operation is kind of big. We bring in truckloads of aspen, truckloads of water bowls, that kind of stuff. And I don't know.
Well, you were on 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Right.
I think. And what changed? You were producing 3,000 clutches a year back then. So what's changed since then? Are you producing more? Are you?
No, we're about in the same neighborhood. We're just right now. What we're doing is focusing on. We've kind of made a transition to more high end. I was set up to produce 1,000 super fires, and I would sell 100 watts here and 100 watts there. We've focused our breeding efforts more on doing some more cutting edge projects. So we've really spent the last few years developing triple recessives and things like that. Kind of following Justin's model for how he how he's built his business.
Right.
But at the same time, still maintaining our other business of producing, large numbers of pieds, large numbers of blue-eyed leucistics, things that satisfy the pet trade. I'm trying to hit both sides, the pet and the investment trade.
Right. Because I was going to say, looking at your MorphMarket and Snakes for Sale, you normally somebody just does one or the other, right? They normally do the paycheck snakes or they do the high-end stuff.
Right.
And you're kind of crushing it on both ends. You got 900 animals on MorphMarket right now, and that's, of course, green trees and boas and everything too. But you really hit the, the pet trade people or the paycheck type of snakes and the higher end stuff. What are some of the higher end things that you're working on now?
Well, we're doing triple het clown candy pied. I think that's one that I want to work on. I'm doing a lot with lavender, trying to, lavender clown pied, blackhead. I really want to get blackhead and leopard in with the lavender clown. Those kind of things. Just kind of a little bit of everything in that investment level. We're doing a lot with sunset now. We produce sunset clowns this year. We have sunset clown pieds on the agenda. We want to get lavender in there, inchy in there. We're trying to, that's something I had neglected, thinking, well, I'm just going to focus on the pet trade stuff. And
right.
then now that we have space, we're going to do both.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's a lot. As far as like mindset goes, you were telling me that when you last did the show, you were you were kind of into it, but you decided to go all into it in the last year or two. And how has that changed your business at all?
Well, I had last time we talked, I think I just went through a divorce. I was kind of in a transitional phase, trying to decide what I wanted to do, if I wanted to stay in Colorado or if I wanted to come back to Oklahoma. And I was going to get in. My choice was to pursue getting in the marijuana business. I felt like at one time growing would appeal to me because that's what we do. We grow things. And then also I just thought we might be able to kind of translate some of the things we've done with the snakes into that business. The more I looked at it, I decided that it's oversaturated. It's a little bit more industrial. To be honest, it's to be a leader, you're going to need tens of millions of dollars, not millions of dollars. And
Right.
so I decided, since I'm not going to do that, I don't want to invest in the stock market. I like investing in myself, investing in things that I have control over, rather than just like sending my money to somebody and saying, grow it.
Yeah, here, you do something with it. Yeah.
I've lost too much money doing that. So I just decided to. My dad always told me, do what you know, and I just decided to go big in the reptile business, and that's what I'm doing. Everything I got's in this business.
Right.
We're going hard, and that's why we've done these other. We're getting ready to do other product launches, but that's why we're working. We're also working on a sensor that is going to be a little 1 inch by 1 inch cube that you can put in every rack drawer if you want. And it's being developed with an app where you can be in a different state, log onto your app, see the temperature of those cages. It's all monitored by a Wi-Fi hub.
Right.
It will have push notifications with alarms. We started working on that in conjunction with the incubator because we felt like, hey, that'll be important for people to know when their incubator gets out of range. And then we were pushing it to make it where I want those little sensors to be cheap, like $20.
Right.
Stick them in every drawer if you want, and it gives people peace of mind. There's a lot of people that don't travel because they say, I just can't take a chance on leaving my snakes in the wintertime.
Yeah, no shit. Have you noticed I don't really want to say drop, but a drop in any sales as of late? Because I know a lot of people are complaining about shows. They're complaining that they didn't sell anything. And it's usually the people with the lower end kind of paycheck animals that are complaining about everything. But from what I understand, the high end animals, you can't keep them in stock. So what's been your experience with that?
I've experienced the same thing with shows. The paycheck animals don't sell well at shows, and I think that's mostly because shipping is so great. I mean, we will ship an average of 50 boxes a day during the heavy part of the season. We're selling a lot of animals online and shipping them. Well, those customers, they don't need to get in the car, go drive down to a show, walk around, and then find an animal. They can get a good picture online. We'll ship it overnight to their door. Part of our model for serving the pet trade is we gear everything toward customer satisfaction. If you go Google our reviews, we have about 1,200 5-star reviews. We send out review invites automatically to everyone who buys from us online. And the reason we have so many 5-star reviews is because we're customer centric. If a customer's not happy for any reason, we will no questions asked, send you a label, you can send it back, we'll give you a refund. We're not out to beat anybody out of their money. We're here to help them in the hobby, help them with questions on husbandry. So we'll help them every step of the way. And if things don't work out, we'll give them their money back, and everybody's happy. So I think that has driven that side of our business to where it's just dependable. I haven't seen a large decline in those. It started, with COVID, the free money.
Right.
Everyone was stuck at home. They needed something to do. They might as well get some snakes and have a hobby. And so it was insane during that time. Prices were way high. We were shipping boxes all the time. Since then, to my surprise, the next year was even stronger. Maybe not for prices. Some prices did come down, like for pieds and blue-eyes.
Right.
But the overall demand and the sales were still really strong. So, and then this year has also been really strong. We're year over year since 2019, since we moved here, we're having really significant steady growth every year.
Okay.
So I'm not seeing that, but to answer your question, at the shows, I am seeing it. In fact, at Tinley, I didn't bring any pet trade animals because I've kind of learned that that's not the crowd that's there. The crowd
Right.
is more investment crowd. And so we only brought higher end stuff to Tinley. And
Right. I think the people with the lower end animals have to really push their MorphMarket accounts or their online accounts, because I have a friend that drove there from Rhode Island to vend, and they made $200.
Oh, I hate
That's but then I talked to people that made $30,000,
right.
And so it was better for the high end stuff. And I don't think that the paycheck snakes really should sell all that well at a show, because there's a billion of them out there.
Right.
Right.
It's the same thing on every table.
Right. Exactly. So, so you find a dick at a show who is like, I'll beat anybody's price by $200.
Right.
And everybody will go to him.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I said when I went to Tinley. I'm just not going to play that game. I said it's going to be a bloodbath on the lower end. So we didn't even bring any. I didn't even bring one super fire. I was telling a friend that yesterday, and he was surprised to hear that I didn't bring any super fires.
Well, yeah, because you don't want it to turn into a Daytona, right?
Right.
Where you could buy 10 bananas at $25 a piece, because everybody's just cutting each other's throats for sales there. But Tinley did look like huge. Like the amount of vendors there were more than ever, I thought.
I haven't been there in a long time, and it was intense. I was blown away. I thought, whoa, this is the big time. I finally made the big time.
Yeah. I heard there was
great.
like 5 feet in between some of the rows.
Yeah.
And that's just nuts, considering Daytona, there's 35 feet.
Right. That tells you about all you need to know, really.
Yeah. When Daytona opened up the other room this year, I was thinking, oh, maybe they just filled up, but there was still 35 feet in between rows and new rooms too. Right. So it was just like a waste, I thought. Yeah. And so how many shows do you go to a year personally?
Well, right now, all I'm going to commit to that I personally will be at is Tinley. We're going to do March and October.
Okay. All right. Well, try to get to Arlington in February, because I'd love.
Yeah, I probably will be at Arlington in February, because my incubators will be in, and really I want to personally talk to people about those while I'm showing them.
Right. Okay.
I feel like I know them better than anybody. I know them better than my staff does, because I've been so involved in manufacture. I feel like this has been a couple of years, and it just feels like forever the wait. The the container left in August, China, and it arrived over a month ago off the coast of Oakland in California. And that boat has been sitting there for a month waiting to be unloaded. I just don't know how we can function as a country operating like this.
Oh yeah, I know that Reptile had the same problem.
Yeah,
where the boat was just sitting there.
I talked to JT at Tinley, and I was talking to him about it, and he said go to Houston. And so our next container, I just changed it. Our next container is going to Houston. We're going to truck up from Houston because
it's a lot closer, right?
Faster. Yeah, it's closer. And the reason we went to Oakland is because it's so much cheaper. It's like $2,800 for a container to go to Oakland, and it's over $6,000 to go to Houston. I'm going to pay the extra so that we don't end up with a situation where that container's sitting off the coast for a month.
Right,
That's crazy.
So you're going to have the incubators in fairly soon.
Yeah, they've already been unloaded now. They're now we have to wait for a week for a truck because of congestion at the warehouse, of course, right?
And then when do you think the racks will arrive? The first shipment of racks?
That's probably going to be sometime after Christmas.
Okay.
It's going to be a minute on that because we're still organizing the final details on, everything has to be right with American voltage and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Get all that stuff.
All right. Well, and nowadays, it's way different than it was 10 years ago, right? Like when I met you, it was way different. I mean, you were one of the nicer guys that we dealt with 10 years ago, You
mean as far as not being, is it being cutthroat?
As far as no, it was still cutthroat, but people were just dicks. Just very like, fuck you if you're not going to buy this. I got 10 other people that'll buy it. And then, you find it still available after a month because they were bullshitting you, or dudes that didn't want to tell you the correct way to keep things or the correct, offspring that would come. And nowadays, like everybody is blowing each other, right? Like, and everybody's like transparent and everybody's like, good luck to you, man. Fucking, I want you to succeed. And how has that attitude changed it on the scale that you're selling at?
From my standpoint, just as an observer, I'm not involved in it that much. I mean, I used to, in the early days of ball pythons, I used to say, you've got to, this is the most competitive business on the planet. You've got to be really tough to survive because it was hard. Like you said, there was no helping each other out and all that. If you built a network like I described earlier, you and your friends could almost form a team against the other teams, and so that's kind of how we operated. And like you said, now it's much more of a love fest, and I think that's probably overall good for the hobby. I would, I hate to give Justin all the credit in the world for everything good that's ever happened, but
it's okay. He's a sponsor too, so
yeah,
right.
But I do attribute a lot of that to him because he's been very friendly and just open to even his strong competitors. I mean, even with me, we're competitors, and there's no doubt he wants to outcompete me and beat me at every turn, just like I want to beat him. But we're not to the point where we're like wanting to hurt the other person. I want to serve the customer better than he does, and he probably is the same. And we're not exactly playing in the same playground. He's a phenomenal promoter. Able to. He has a great eye for seeing these little nuances that I'll admit I haven't been as good at having a vision, and I think I'm developing it now over time. But back when I started, it was just how many white snakes can you make? How many pieds can you make? I was kind of in the generation of Pete Call and, bigger,
Right.
better, more is better,
Right.
without having a lot of combinations.
Right. Well, Justin is kind of like the anti-Ralph, right? Like
Right.
Justin, Ralph really sold the dream well, right?
Right.
And Justin sells the dream, but in like a more subtle way.
Yeah.
But like Justin doesn't walk into fucking Tinley with 35 girls with him, in bikinis, fucking, knocking it out and fucking showing people this is what you could have if you're successful in ball pythons.
Exactly.
Bob Vu is kind of the guy I think that kind of took over the selling the dream part of it, because Bob Vu will just show you everything. Bob Vu will be like, "Hey, you guys bought me this sports car. Hey, you guys bought me this house. Yeah, you guys get it, So, what do you think of that newer breed of successful guys like Bob Vu, like Josh Lundberg from Ball Python Shed, and those guys?
I love it. I mean, that is what we're selling is the dream. That's why I got into it. I wanted to have a big house and nice cars and swimming pool and all the the dream. And when I first started, I remember thinking, I look forward to my tax return every year. I get $3,500 or something back, and
Right.
I would be able to buy a little something with it, because that's the only time I had $3,500 all at one time.
Right.
And and then I thought, if I could just breed and every year get another tax return, an extra $3,500, that would be amazing. I would love it. And now it's just, I think I dreamed of having the life I have now, but I was going to say I don't know if I believed it, but yeah, I believed it. I was pretty focused on achieving the level of success that we have.
Right.
And,
But you went through some shit too. Like you said, you got divorced. You got
and that's expensive.
Yeah, I bet it's still expensive. Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes in the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed Habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line. And now, what do you think of all this genetic testing that's all the rage right now?
It's just game changer. I mean, in fact, I talked to Ben. I called Ben right after, it was kind of announced. And I said, So what's it feel like to be on the eve of being a very, very rich man? How does that feel to know you're going to be rich?
Right.
Not all of us know that we're going to be rich. He knows he's going to be rich.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, for a fact.
This is a 100% guarantee, because it's a game changer. I mean, we're not going to be seeing possible hets anymore.
Right. Well, and if you do, you're going to test it right away, right? So,
right.
And how do you think like businesses are going to react to the, are they going to offer the testing, prior to sale, or, are they still going to leave it up to the customer and be like, it's a possible hat, you could check it out, but people may not spend that money if they're not willing to do it, right?
Yeah, I think there's two schools of thought on that. I mean, me personally, I have a bunch of clowns pass at sunset and a bunch of sunsets pass at clown, and I'm so it's a two-edged sword, right? I can test everything, which is the route I've chosen to do, but I might be disappointed in. I mean, what if 80% of them come back as not hets?
Right.
Now I've just devalued those animals quite a bit. But in my mind, what my plan is that when I test them and the ones that are hets, I'm just going to keep them, and then I'll sell off the ones that aren't.
Right, the singles. Right. Okay. And you're producing what, 18,000 babies plus per year, right?
Not quite that many, probably in the 12,000 range.
Okay, 12,000. Okay. So if you, like, what's your feeling on the Nido testing and all that other, disease stuff that's going on?
I just think that's stupid. I think if you're going to manage a collection, you should manage your collection very strict and keep it disease free. Doing a bunch of testing on, I've sent off, when that first all came, I sent off so many Nido tests. I've never had a positive Nido test. That's where I just decided, okay, well, if it's there, it's there. If an animal shows symptoms, we just have a strict policy, and it may sound bad to people who aren't doing it on a big level, but we just immediately euthanize anything that is sick. Because if you screw around with trying to treat that animal and get it better, you're most likely to spread that disease to more animals. So basically, you need to look at it like, I'm saving other animals by doing this.
Right. If it sneezes, it freezes, right?
If it sneezes, it freezes is the term that people came up with a long time ago. A long time ago, we dealt with, I personally didn't have it, but there were people that were big in this industry that had some disease sweeping through their ball pythons that just wiped them out. I probably shouldn't mention names, but Bob
Clark, Pete Colley, yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
No, people that even aren't in the business anymore. Jamie Quick, do you remember Jamie Quick?
I do remember, yeah.
One of the largest producers of albino ball pythons. The reason he's not in the reptile game anymore is because he had. I'd talk to him on the phone, and he'd be like, "I go out and it's so depressing. I go out and there's 10 more snakes dead,"
right.
And he was just, I think he didn't manage that well from the beginning. And around the same time, I was talking to Mark Bell. Mark Bell had a huge collection of animals, and I said, "Man, this is scary. What are you doing?" And he said, "Our policy is if it sneezes, it freezes. We are going to be hardcore. It doesn't matter if it's a $25,000 animal. It's going to be euthanized if it's sick, because that's the only way you're going to maintain a clean collection."
Right.
And,
right.
Our collection is super healthy. We're mite free. We just don't have any issues. And I think the whole the whole testing thing is just going to make people crazy.
Yeah,
Constantly.
I agree.
Is there Does my snake have a disease that I can't see, that doesn't have any symptoms of? I think it's not a good road to go down.
Well, I think until they get to a more certain way of testing, right? That's really what has to be done, because right now the Nido people are saying you could have a snake that's totally healthy with a vet certificate and Nido negative, and you ship it, and then the stress of the shipping triggers something inside the animal, and he shows up at the customer's house Nido positive.
That is exactly right. So what is the point of ever having a test if it's not reliable anyway? If it could be lying dormant in that animal and then reveal itself at some point, then what did you accomplish by testing it in the first place?
Right. It's like a Walking Dead thing, like just assume everybody has it.
Right.
Okay. And if you don't have it, great. If but these people that are going Nido testing crazy, if number one, it's expensive, but number two, it's not to say that in 4 months the animal won't test Nido positive, right?
Exactly.
So,
you can't trust it if it's negative. So what's the reason? Why would you do it?
Right.
I think it's far better to have some husbandry practices that are in place. Like we have, everybody wears gloves while they're cleaning racks, and we change gloves every row. So we clean a row, change our gloves. We use disposable water bowls. You hold the water hose when you're filling water bowls above, and make sure that you're not cross-contaminated. Everything is geared toward don't cross-contaminate. And if you do, because it's not practical to change gloves on every drawer,
right.
What we're doing is we're trying to limit the damage. If there was ever an outbreak, I want to say that it's only going to be on that row.
Right. Well, and things have changed, like I said, over the last 10 years. And there was no social media, when we were doing it.
There was no internet.
Right. Even like when we were young, right? You're a little bit older than me, but fucking anything we did in high school is just a rumor right now.
Exactly. There's no photographic evidence.
Right. So, but it's changed so much with that. Like, how big are you into the social media end of it now?
To be honest, I don't like social media. I don't like the way people attack one another, like just for stupid stuff. And I just decided a long time ago, I'm not personally going to be involved in it. I just don't. I'm not on Facebook personally. I have a Facebook page. I have people that manage our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We haven't done very well with that lately, but we're going to start doing YouTube and Rumble. But I just don't like it. I think at one time, I'll tell you where I lost my taste for social media was when Facebook first came out. It was the greatest thing ever.
Right.
I would post a picture of some new snake, and it was fun because I would go, ready, go. And you would just watch the likes almost spinning like a ticker. They would just fly up. You'd have 5,000 likes in 30 minutes. And so I thought, I really want to promote this. So I was running ads to increase the number of people who liked our page, because everyone who liked your page would see every single thing you posted.
Right.
So we got our likes up where a lot of people liked our page. And then Facebook changed the rules. They decided, hey, we need to monetize this. So now we're going to make you pay for access to those customers that you already paid to get. And I just thought, that's not a deal I want to participate in. You guys changed the rules after the game started, and I'm just going to opt out. So I still post. It's a place where customers and people can interact with us, but it's not something that I really push, because I don't like the fact that when you post a picture now, it shows it to 5 people. And then
Yeah.
if those 5 people like it and comment, then it'll show it to a few more. I think what that does is encourages a lot of people trying to post things that are controversial or something like that, rather than just a cool snake.
Right. Well. Speaking of that, what do you think of guys like Barczyk and Brewer, who are just killing it on
YouTube?
social, on YouTube and on Instagram and shit like that? I mean, I think Barczyk is doing it in the correct way. I think Brewer is doing it in the not correct way. But what's your thought on the big YouTube people right now?
I think God bless them. I wish I was making that YouTube money. I think it's a pretty good gig. To be honest with you, for myself, I say that I wish I was making that YouTube money. I feel like the pressure that comes with it, it feels very much like you're a slave to it. Like, oh, I got to post a new video today, or my income stream is going to stop. I'd rather be a little bit more private, and I've geared more toward animal sales, so I'm sure I'm making similar money to them. I'm just doing it in a different way, and it's cool. As far as the way I am, I like to be able to go to dinner and not have people come over to my table and want to take their picture with me.
Right. Yeah, that's it, right? Like the selfie is the new autograph.
Exactly.
Right.
I just don't. I don't like fame. I just don't. To me, it's a trap, and I wouldn't want to be in it. I like to be able to go places, and I mean, at a snake show, then yeah, I will have a lot of people come up to me and want to take pictures or something like that. And I was blown away a little bit by Tinley this weekend. The amount of people who came up to me and said, I just want to let you know, you're the reason I'm doing this. I used to watch your YouTube videos, and that's why I got into breeding ball pythons. I had no idea I had that kind of impact on people.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, no, I get that in a small way, because when I went to Arlington, I never took so many pictures with people in my fucking life. And believe me, I wasn't asking them. Yeah. So
right. I know that about you.
It's kind of it's kind of a cool thing, but after every picture I was like, oh well, welcome home, COVID. You're gonna go home, test positive, and fucking have to be out for a week.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a cold right now, and I woke up this morning with it, and I thought, well, I was at the super spreader event this week.
That's right.
So I'm sure that's why I got it.
Oh my God. Well, and speaking of the old school guys like Barczyk, I noticed a lot of you old school guys that had problems with each other, back then, are more welcoming to each other nowadays. Is that just something that comes with age, or is that just like, let me do this because he is a giant guy in the industry now, and I still have to, make sure people know that I'm associated with him or whatever?
It may be in some people's books, but I've always been really great with Brian. I never had an issue. Even, he went through a period of time where people were hating on him so hardcore in the reptile industry while he was trying to get his channel going, and being real crappy to him about, overly critical of his videos. And I'd talk to him on the phone back then, and, he would tell me how bad it hurt his feelings. And but he and I have always been pretty close. He's a good guy. He's been very accessible for me, and I think overall been positive for the industry. I think the old school guys that we have beef with, a lot of that's just gone away because of time. And to be honest, a lot of it because Ralph's not in it. Ralph, I think, stirred up that shit between us all the time. And it was crazy. It was like you were constantly thinking about what Ralph was going to say about whatever you did, because he was going to say something about it.
Right. Well, the thing is with Ralph, I mean, he's a dick, right? But that was one of the reasons that I kind of was like drawn to him a little bit, because he was, such a dick that it was like, all right, so he's cool. Like I'm a dick too. People think I'm a dick, so fucking, let's see if we could get along. But with Barchak, it right now, I think it's undeserving. Anybody that spews hatred towards him is it's undeserving, because if you walk into a fucking Petco and you see a kid looking at a bearded dragon, odds are that kid's gonna know who Barchak is.
Exactly.
So I think he's done way more for the hobby than hurt the hobby. But I was looking online the other day, and there was still hate on him that he showed up at Tinley.
I honestly think it's just people that are jealous of his success, and he chose a different path. He decided, instead of going hard on the breeding snake operation, I'm really gonna go hard on this YouTube thing, and he's been successful. There's no denying he did it.
Yeah, he's fucking killing it, and he's probably one of the few people on YouTube that are like, I know him, I talk to him, and I don't agree with everything he does. Like, I didn't agree with this Animal Con thing, right? But fucking when you meet him, he's the same guy that's in the YouTube video.
Yeah.
He's like, he's that excited, he's that happy to do things and all that. So
it wears me out. I don't see how he's that excited all the time.
yeah, seriously, it's unbelievable.
And I know he doesn't do drugs, so I mean,
right.
That's naturally how he is.
Yeah, he's just one of those dudes, But overall, I think the industry is in a good place right now. But all the dick sucking with each other, I mean, how long do you think that's really going to last, right? Until one guy really fucks over another guy for more money or whatever, and then makes it public. It's just a matter of time. But the difference is, like, you go to a show like Tinley or Arlington, and everybody's having fun, everybody's drinking it. It's almost like snake sales are secondary to the party type atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I almost miss the days where people were like, "I'll cut your mother's back for an extra $2."
Well, so, if you miss those days, just stand by. They're coming.
Yeah.
We are headed toward, I feel, we've been through this many times, where we go through a correction, and we're going to weed out the men from the boys, as they say. I don't know. Can you say that anymore? Can you say?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're gonna get hit by all the alphabet people.
Oh, geez.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like we're heading to a time where things are going to get a little bit more tough, and that usually is when the long knives come out and people start stabbing each other in the back. When, I think if I give anybody advice for this period of time, I would just say you need to just accept what's happening in the market, as prices are going to come down a little, and we're going to we'll find a resurgence at some point. It's just, it's happened before. It's happened several times. And
it happened when we did it.
Part of the positivity that you're expressing has been because we've been on the way up for so long. And
right.
I think as we start seeing that correct, you're gonna see a little bit more cutthroat, people being mad about this or that.
Right.
It's not.
I think it's going to be, a year or two of people just having to ride it out, and the people that invest in these, coming times are probably going to be, and could have ride it out, are going to be the people that really come out of this on the strong end, a year or two from now. But I can't wait for all the toxic positivity to end. I'm just like, shut up, fucking you, like everybody has great ball pythons now, right? Like when everybody buys something, immediately they're posting, "Hey, I bought my, new fucking yellow belly clown from Joe Blow in Arkansas, and he's a great guy to fucking deal with." And I'm just like, this did not happen when we were buying snakes,
Right.
right? Like when we were buying snakes, I was almost like, fuck this guy, you overcharged me for it. And, I'm happy I got the snake, but fucking we still paid it, 3 times the asking price or whatever. So,
Right.
yeah, I can't wait for this shit to end. All right. But overall, right now, what would you say in the positive end? In other words, where we're still, on the uphill right now, what would you say is the worst thing about the hobby right now?
The worst positive thing?
No, the worst thing, and then the most positive.
I as far as the worst thing, I don't know. I haven't really given much thought to that. I guess probably, I hate to say it, banana maybe. As far as just I'm sick of seeing banana on every single table at a reptile show. In fact, I was talking to Jeff at Tinley, and I said, I want to scale our banana way back. I mean, we're still going to produce banana for the pet trade because it's a really popular snake for the pet trade. But as far as investment snakes, I'm not going to try to put banana in every single investment snake. I mean, it still has a place, but it doesn't. So many people invested so much money in that, and then they have banana everything on their table, and they wonder why they're not having a good show. It's because you definitely are going to need to diversify and get that out.
Right.
And then as far as just positive, I think there's some really cool new genes that are available on the market. I don't know if I should mention it or not. I mean, probably not. Let me make sure I secure my position first. But I think one thing that people do, back when you were saying that you had a friend that went to Tinley and didn't do well, what you have to do, it's just a requirement. You've got to take a certain percentage of the money you make every year and invest it in new genes, new infrastructure. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. So I think I found myself in that position before, where I felt like, man, my collection is not producing the cutting edge anymore. I'm in this kind of where I'm in a realm where I've lost the investment side. And so we started this about 4 or 5 years ago. We started investing about $100,000 every year in new genes, and that's when I went hard in lavender. I by all rights, I should have more lavender stuff than anybody. I one of the first lavenders there was. It just became a low priority, and then when banana hit, my feeling was, well, we have a purple and orange snake that we can make codom, so why are we going to screw around with that?
Right.
That was stupid, because the lavender is so much more than that. It's not even really that lavender. It's
right, exactly. Yeah.
It's more that real stark orange and bright white, nice contrast. It's such a great palette to start with. We're going to go hard on lavender. We're going to have a lot of different interesting new combos coming on that. And then my Orange Crush gene, we've got a couple of combinations of that we're hoping to hit on soon. That that gene is going to really need that breakout combination.
Right.
And I think it has the potential to. We just haven't quite got there because I backburnered it for so many years. I didn't really work on it.
Right. I only know one other person with an Orange Crush in their collection, and they got it from you.
Right. There's not many people that have it or working with it. I have in the incubator right now Orange Dream Orange Crush. I think that might end up being something really special. And I love the marketing, the name that we're going to use on that. That's going to be called the Dream Crusher.
Right.
So hopefully it will be worthy of that name. It will crush people's dreams that are trying to compete with us on that. In fact, today when I got back from Tinley after conversations that I had, we're pulling everything down that is Orange Crush from my website. Nothing's going to be available for sale, and we're going to just shelve all of that until we start marketing some of these combos, because it's a gene that hardly anybody has.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What's a base Orange Crush going for these days?
Well, we're pulling it down because I'm trying to not have a price on it, because when I start hitting some major combos, then we're going to put a high price on it. Because,
Well, this won't be out for like 3 days.
Right.
So I would love it if you told me a price and then pulled it down.
$15,000.
Okay. All right.
What our base Orange Crush is going to be.
Okay. All right. So when they go back up, you're expecting them to be a lot higher or a lot lower, depending, right?
Right.
So, all right. Do you want to end with anything, Mike? I kept you for an hour already. So,
has it already been an hour? This has been fun.
Yeah, it's been fucking an hour, man. But I'm not going to cut anything out of this because it has been fun, and I think me and you have enough of a history together where it just flows, and an hour goes by like it's fucking nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So because we bought from you our first year, I think. And
that would be a good thing to end with. Tell the story about what caused you to have such respect for me. What did I tell you?
Oh, I've told this story a ton of times, but we were interested in Highway, and I called you up, and I was talking to you, and you were like, I really wouldn't get into the highways. Like it's a lot of money, and you're gonna get snakes that you can't tell the difference between a yellow belly and a gravel at all. Like I've been doing this for 20 years and I can't tell the difference between a yellow belly and a gravel. So I would recommend that you don't spend that money with me, and just go buy something else if you want.
And I also told you I knew people had racks of those things that they were
right, yeah,
the price up high, and I said, don't invest in it right now because you're going to get destroyed.
And I think it was like $3 or $4 grand at the time.
Yeah.
And you were just like, don't do it. And I was like, fuck. I was like, this guy's telling me not to give him money. But like this guy has a lifelong customer right now,
I appreciate that.
And it's, even just last month, Danny bought something from you. So fucking, it's 10 years later and we're still buying from fucking Wilbanks because of that conversation.
It pays to be honest.
Yeah, no, it totally does. Well, especially considering some of the other fucking cocksucking big breeders were not honest.
I've been lied to and ripped off so many times. I never get out on social media and complain about it, but man, I've even bought hets that weren't hets from people who.
Oh, we were famous for that. You know, I mean, we were just like, we used to buy things from that car salesman, Joe Capone. And fucking like, I'd say a good 75% of the hets that we bought didn't prove out.
He was,
and we, it wasn't 66% hets or 13.5% hets. It was sold to us as guaranteed hets. So we were ripped off a ton too, and it is nice to see everything so different right now. Like we put about 250 grand into it, and I almost wish that we did that now and not 10 years ago. I wish we would have got 5 snakes for 200 grand instead of 600 snakes at $1,000 a piece or whatever. So it's it's just not the way to go. Our first year we had 100 clutches, man. Like fucking like that, and I knew I never wanted to do it again after that year. I was like, fuck this. This is a lot of work, man. So we were king at hitting the bad odds, right? Like if a clutch could be worth $5,000 or 300, we always nailed that 300.
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes. I mean, even still sometimes with all the better stuff that's available today, people are still missing the odds, and everybody has to know like the whole thing is a gamble.
Yep.
You
and
can
it
hit.
corrects itself. I mean, like we hit 2 sunset clowns from double het to double het breeding. So 2 sunset clown males in a double het to double het breeding. So
well, you could never be an employee of eyeballs if that was the case.
that luck is too good, huh?
That's too much good luck. Yeah, we won't be having any of that. But Michael, thank you for doing this, man. Tell people how they could get in touch with you.
Well, we're online. Our website's the best way, wilbanksreptiles.com. There's a little chat icon in the lower right corner. You click on that, you'll get fast response. You can visit us on our Facebook. We do monitor that as well. And yeah, that's
would you say that you sell more off your website or off of MorphMarket?
Oh, it's all kind of tied together, we keep MorphMarket current with our website every day. And I would say if it wasn't for MorphMarket, I'd be in big trouble.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way, because MorphMarket it's where everybody goes. If I'm looking for something, I'm not going to Joe Blow's website. I'm going and looking on MorphMarket and seeing what I can find.
Right. So normally they find it through MorphMarket, but they buy it on your website?
Yeah, we have instructions there. So if you click on an animal, you see you like it, it has an ID number, you can go to our website, search the ID number, it'll pull it right up, and then you can just purchase with a shopping cart there on our website. Everything is set up to be fairly automated. You choose your shipping date at the time of checkout and everything. And if you see it on our website, it's available. There's no reason to wait and ask us, is that animal still available? The moment you buy it, it becomes unavailable on the website. It'll say out of stock.
Wow. One more quick question. What do you do with all these dickheads that are like, could I see some more pictures of it?
I don't do it.
Yep.
Because I've never had one of those turn into a sale.
Right.
In fact, one day I was feeling extra energetic, and this girl said, "Hey, could I see some more pictures of this banana pied?" It was probably 2 years ago when banana pieds were selling for a little more. And I was about to leave, but I thought, I have time. I went, I made a video of it in my hand, and I sent it to her, and she responds back and says, "Okay, well, I'm going to be ready for one next year, so I'll be sure and get back with you." And I thought, I'm never doing that again.
Yep. It got to the point with us so bad that when people would call and say, "Yo, can I see more pictures?" I would just say no. Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then they bash me on Facebook,
right,
for being, having shitty customer service. But listen, it's a $400 snake. I'm not going to take 20 fucking pictures of it. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we have a good, well-lit photo and a
Right.
money-back guarantee. So if you get the snake and you say, "Hey, I don't like the way it looks," even though it looked, if you think that the photo looks better than the snake, send it back. I'll give you your money back. How can you lose?
Right.
But there's no reason for me to have to take 20 pictures of the same snake, take the picture of the belly and everything else.
Right. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Oh, I hate these fucking people under 30. All right. Mike, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to fucking do this.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. I'm really happy you invited me and had a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, me too, man. And I didn't get invited to that fucking growing up Wilbanks barbecue. So fucking next year, I'm gonna look for my invite in a minute.
I do not know how your invitation must have got lost in the mail.
It must have, yeah.
I'll make sure and FedEx you one myself this year.
I was like, Cusco? He invited Cusco?
He offered to do my video for me. Maybe you could offer to do my podcast for me.
Yeah. No, I'll do a podcast once I'm there, but also Oklahoma. Oh, man. It's just fucking... How far are you from Arlington?
About 3 hours.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not too bad. All right. Well, next time I'm down
there. It's a great state. You'll love it.
Oh yeah, fucking.
wide
I
open.
got a feeling, I'm gonna like it there. So,
Yeah.
all right, brother. Well, thanks again. I appreciate everything you do, man, and really, you're a fucking rock star for coming on. Thank you.
All right, man. I appreciate it too.
All
Talk to
right,
you
brother.
later.
Take care. Here at Snakes and a Fat Man, we're huge supporters of diversity. We're proving that point here by having our first ever boa breeder as a sponsor on the show. Boa Affliction has been around since 2010, and when they saw the VPI T-positive gene, they immediately shifted their focus and decided to make not just visually stunning albino boas, but they quickly realized that the T-positive snows and sun glows really stood apart from the T-negative albinos that were available at the time. This original VPI gene has maintained its place in the market for the last 10 years and shows no sign of slowing down. Here's the thing. When you invest into your 401k, a 401k for all you ball python people is a fund that you invest in for your retirement. But when you invest in a 401k, you just don't invest in Walmart. You invest in Amazon, Verizon, Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. That's all we're trying to say here. 100% of your collection doesn't have to be ball pythons. Throw a few boas in there and be part of a different type of cool crowd. And when you do that, invest with Kenny over at Boa Affliction. Great, no bullshit guy with an awesome website. And how in the fuck am I gonna say no to a guy who uses this chick in his promo picture? Can't do it. Can't do it. I tried everything. Go check out Kenny today at boaffliction.com. Sticking with my supporting of diversity, I actually hired a millennial to handle all my social media, but I had to fire him because he didn't show up for work. So I'm just going to leave this picture up here for a little while longer. I hope you guys liked and learned a little bit from this one with my old friend there. Go over and like, subscribe, or follow anything that Mike Wilbanks does because he deserves it, man. He's one of the best dudes in the industry. Well, guys, we're getting close to the end of the year. Only 2 shows left because historically I take December off. But I'm hoping to end it with a fucking bang. I will probably do 1 Fat Man Live and 1 Zoom call in December. But I'm definitely going to take a couple of weeks off to kind of just recharge for 2023 because it's going to be fucking awesome. A lot of big plans here. Fucking a lot of big plans. Now, starting on November 1st, open voting begins for your favorite 15 Minutes of Lane contestant from the past year. We're doing things a little bit different this time, and online voting is only going to account for 25% of the final vote. The remaining 75% is going to be left up to 3 judges. Antoine Hood, last year's winner from High Desert Pythons, Shane Kelly from Small Town Exotics, who won the 15 Minutes of Lane contest in 2020, is also a judge, and my good friend, the Italian stallion and breeder extraordinaire, Donato Signore, is also going to be a judge. So just think something similar to like American Idol. 25% of the vote counts for online votes, and the other 75% will be decided between Donato, Shane, and Antoine. I've recused myself from voting this year because number 1, I think it's a conflict of interest, and number 2, you guys know, like listen, I'm shallow as fuck. You know that I'm just gonna vote for the hottest girl contestant who had the biggest boobs. I figure this is a fair way to have this contest done, and hopefully it'll put an end to these cheating fucks that tried to rig the contest last year. So fuck them. Speaking of 15 minutes, we have a new show coming out sponsored by McKnight Stables called 15 Minutes, Where Are They Now? Where we actually interview past contestants from 15 Minutes of Lane and see what happened with their fucking reptile dreams. The first episode of that is going to be dropped on YouTube on October 20th, and that's going to be with Jamie Cadill from RC Reptiles. Again, shallow. A hottie gets the first episode. So we drop new episodes of this show, Snakes and a Fat Man, on the 1st and 15th of every month. And don't forget to check out our new show, Fat Man Live, which takes place every other Sunday, live on YouTube. The next one is October 23rd, so I hope to see you there. Don't forget, We also do the open Zoom call for reptile keepers on alternate Sundays. The next one of those drops on October 16th, tomorrow. And if you're in a position to help the channel grow, like all of these fucking cool motherfuckers right here, head on over to patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Become a guaranteed member of the Reptile Cool Guy Club, the only Reptile Cool Guy Club. People like Paul Taylor from Snake Road Constrictors, Reptile Cool Guy Club. Joshua Strange from Strange Creations, Reptile Cool Guy Club. And Eileen Jarp from Bravo Zulu Ball Pythons, Reptile Cool Guy Club. Head on over and subscribe, follow, like all of these guys right now. Guys, thanks again for everything that you guys have done to support the old fat man here. I really appreciate it. I fucking love you guys. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Take care, guys. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fatman. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.